Do you think some of the stuff that happens with the military to toughen them up, do you think it's not, because, you know, some people talk to you say, well, the method of war has changed so much that all of those things that rah, you know, toughen people up, it's not necessary today, you know, because today it's more about, you know, maybe a gentler approach to toughen soldiers up. We don't need to do that anymore. Today it's more of a cyber warfare. Today it's more about not necessarily getting up there on the front enemy lines. You know, you need to toughen soldiers up in a different way. Or do you believe, no, we still need to train our soldiers to be tough because the enemy is training their soldiers to be tougher than us? What is your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. Did you see that the video that went around a few months ago that showed the Russian airborne commercial comparing it to ours?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that should tell everybody everything they need to know there. And the part of adapting, looking at what you do on the battlefield, we have 20 years of data right now, incorporating those aspects into our training. Very smart. But the other side is that when we're talking about adaptability, that cyber warfare piece, yeah, maybe those guys don't need to be doing what we're doing as SEALs because they're fighting a different battle space. They're right here. Just like I have no idea how to fight in that space unless they said, go to the physical location and destroy said physical location. Like that's where I excel. But getting in there and the different levels of the internet, and because I'm doing all this research for my new novel that's coming out next year, and I'm looking at the cyber warfare piece and the quantum computing piece and the levels of the internet and where these future battles might be fought. Well, they might be fought there, but there's also that chance of an electromagnetic pulse that shuts that stuff down. And here we are, we're back to fighting. So fighting, there's always that primal, that's the one thing that hasn't changed since the beginning of time, is that primal nature of combat, that visceral man-to-man, person-to-person in the trenches. That part has stayed fairly much. I mean, as things have evolved technology-wise, it still becomes a person against another trying to kill one another. That part has stayed the same. So you have to keep up with the technology, keep up with the tactic, techniques, procedures, keep learning about your enemy so you can better counter that enemy, so you can better translate, if you're a leader, some of the directives coming down from higher authority so you can get the job done there at the tactical level. But it really comes down to you putting another human in the ground, and that part has not changed.
Do you think we're tougher today with our training than we were 20 years ago? Or if we're not, what's the consequence of the direction we're going today?
Yeah. So I got out right before all that stuff started to change. So I think by the time I got out in 2016, we were doing a very good job of incorporating lessons learned from downrange. A lot of the medical stuff had evolved quite a bit over the years because we just had so much learned. We learned so much just on the ground in the battle space. So that part, we were doing a good job of incorporating that into the pipeline, into the training. But when you let off the gas a little bit to take a breath, which is fine to do, just to make sure you're on the right path. But then if you want to just become more inclusive because of some sort of an equity of outcome type of that's going in the wrong direction, I think, and that will be our downfall. And it's interesting, in that last book that I wrote, I put myself in the enemy's shoes. So I spent about a year and a half looking at the United States through the eyes of Iran, of Russia, of North Korea, of China. And what was terrifying to me is that by the time I got done with that year writing that book, looking at us from the enemy's side, I had to make some adjustments to my novel because I thought, you know what, if I was the enemy, we're doing a pretty good job of destroying ourselves from the inside right now. And I could just take back, if I'm China, Russia, there's no need to rush. If I'm those countries, I can take a step back, take a breath, and I can just watch us do what we're doing to ourselves from the inside. This discord that is perpetuated by a lot of the social media type of algorithms that worked for advertising. Well, guess what? Yeah, they also work for political parties and they work for galvanizing your base and getting support and raising money and that sort of a thing. So it was disheartening, I guess, to say the least, that if I was the enemy, I might just watch us for a little bit because we're doing a lot of their jobs for them, unfortunately.
So if you like this little short clip from an interview I did, click over here to watch the entire interview. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.